great. Let's make sure our connection is good. We had a question in the group, and I promised to jump in here to share some insight. And that's what I promised you guys. This is what. Okay, great. We're live. I don't have to introduce myself. You all know who I am. Happy Sunday. I'm excited to be here. And I do hope someone joined us. I was actually trying to do it on Zoom because I want to do some screen sharing. But my tech team is off today, and I'm going to have to allow them to work that out. So, but I wanted to jump in and kind of briefly, I shared some links. A link, excuse me. I shared a link with you guys. I think it was over the weekend. It was a couple of questions, which I love. I love when you guys have questions. Let me know that you got the information, that you read the information. I love it. Anytime here in the group that you have questions, comments, or concerns, this is the place, okay? So always make sure that you do that, because my promise to you is that I'm here and my team here is to support you with your financial needs. So I love what you guys are doing. So I know today is Sunday, but I had a little makeup on. I just got to church, and I said this is the perfect time to jump on and do it live before I get in my lounging clothes. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, I'm just gonna briefly kind of go over some of the details that I feel like will support you, especially if you have children that you are claiming children on your tax return. Then I definitely feel that the information will support you in making the decision that's best for you. Okay. So I'm sure you all for me have heard about the child tax credit, and that the government is allowing you to receive a portion of that money prior to filing taxes, okay, which is a good thing. I think it's great for those that will benefit from it, and that may be you. If it is, great, wonderful, take advantage of it, because it probably never happen again. But I want you to make sure that you're making a conscious decision with doing so. So I shared an article that I was reading that came from Personal Finance. I think it was maybe Yahoo. I think I saw it on, but Personal Finance is this. I give credit to them for for the information. Also, I went to the IRS website. It's more information. I post that link after I finish this live. So I'm kind of bouncing, guys, from the screen and back. So just kind of go with me here. If you have a comment or something, be patient. I'll try to jump back in to see what you guys are saying, or may be additional support on. So the child tax credit. Every child receive a child tax credit is under the age of 17. That's always been that way. Now the amount changes, not every year, but periodically it changes. So originally it was like $2,000 per child. It's going to increase the new year, and it increases up to $3,600 this upcoming year, which is really great. It is a taxable credit. Okay. Now you may say and it can get every person. Let me say this is a disclaimer. Every person's situation is different. Okay. It depends on your tax bracket. That's very important that I say that in the very beginning, because you may say, well, Marshea, I have two dependents. Why am I not receiving this $3,000 or this $3,600? Well, if you're in a higher tax bracket, guys, the more you make, the less you get. So the credit is not a payable credit. It's not a cash credit, if I should say. So you're not receiving funding, but that credit is going towards your liability, helping reduce the amount that you owe. Okay, so stay with me right there. And you all know I try to make sure I explain something in a way that makes sense to you. Because if you don't do taxes, this is like, I don't want to hear this, right? But I want to make sure that you just kind of get the picture of what I'm saying. So with this credit, when you normally go in to file your taxes and you have your dependents and you have your income, and they give you this credit if you qualify, children under the age of 17, you receive this credit. Now you can claim children over the age of 17, but they don't receive the full tax credit. Okay, they get earned income credit, which is different from the tax credit. Two different things, okay? So the government is saying, with all the pandemic that's going on, everything that's happening financially in the world, the economy is struggling. Let's give our taxpayers with dependents, issue them a check every month, starting the month of July up until December, a portion of their refund credit. Okay, so now you have a choice to say, do I want to receive my portion, or do I want to wait and get my money when I file my taxes? So what I want to talk about, and what's here in this article as well, is that each child, let me see, you could get up to $300 per child for the 2021 tax year, which is next year. If you decide to accept that, you don't have to do anything. If you say, yes, I want my $250, my $300, I want it, give it to me. You don't have to do anything. If you filed your taxes in 2019 or 2020, you shall receive it. If your child was under the age of 17, it's going to come out automatically. Actually, they're probably going to start rolling out within the next week or so. So be on the lookout if you did direct deposit. Now, if you decide to opt out, there are some deadline dates. Let's just say for the first 2 to 3 months, you would like to receive your payments, your credits. You can do that. And at any time, you can go in. I'm going to say at any time, but they do have dates. And I'll share with you here shortly. And you make sure you come back and read this, guy. This is just a description of what's here, in to make sure that you understand it thoroughly. So at any time, you could choose to opt out of receiving the funds. You may want to receive it 3 months, cut off the last one. So there's a link, and I will share that in the group with you all, that you can go in and opt out of receiving those funds. Okay. Now, they do have a time frame on it, opting out of it. So let's just say your check, the first check is supposed to come out July the 15th. So obviously it's too late to opt out of that. So if you have dependents and you qualify, you're going to receive that check. But now the next one, the deadline for unenrollment is August the 2nd for the next checks. That's coming out. So when August 15th checks ready to come, if you desire to opt out, you have until August the 2nd to do that, to prevent you from receiving that money. Okay, so again, you need to get it in between the first week of each month if you decide to opt out of it. Okay, and it's a portal that I'm gonna share. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna share with you. I'm just kind of going through here the website, just picking out stuff that you need. Let me jump in here and see if anyone have any questions. Nope, no questions. No viewers, actually. I wish you guys was here with me. Moving right along. Reasons why your family or you may choose to unenroll and receive a child tax credit. So let's just say, for example, you'd rather have one large payment for the year instead of smaller payments. So if you know that your refund check is nice and it helps you to maybe pay off some debt, to get caught up, to put a savings aside, you have plans for it, then guys, I definitely encourage you to opt out. You know what you decide with your funding. But if you get a portion of it now, please be aware that your refund will be reduced when filing your taxes. Just keep that in mind. The second reason you may choose to unenroll, and this is the reason that I talk about the most as far as with my clients. This is why it's important to me to discuss with my clients in the beauty industry. You know that your household circumstances or tax situation will change. Then you may decide to opt out. So let's say, for example, a lot of my clients have been working with me for about a year. And maybe last year, they didn't report their true earnings, okay? They may have only reported $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. But this year, they're making multiple six figures. They are going to report the multiple six figures that they're making. So your dependent, your tax credit is going to be beneficial to you to file the beginning of the year versus receive. Because if you receive it now, so let's just say you got the pie, okay? You got the whole pie. So that means you have your $3,600 credit, depending on your child's age. So it's $3,000 or $3,600 if they're under the age of 9. Not 6, maybe the age of 6. Under the age of 6, I think it is. That goes to the $3,600. So you got the entire pie, and you're making $100,000. Well, now the IRS is sending you a check for those 2 or 3 dependents that's under the age of 17. They're sending you payouts, and you're receiving it. So you're cutting out the pie. You're cutting the pie. So now when it's time to file taxes and you've made $100,000, you have no dependents. You have received the credits for those dependents. So basically that money that you receive, you could possibly end up on it back because you received those credits and those deductions for that child that you may need because you're in a higher income bracket. Okay? So just keep in mind, if you feel that you're, looking to report your true accurate income and your income situation may change, let's just even say you had 3 dependents last year, but one went off to college, one decided he wanted to file his own stuff because he wanted his own stimulus. I had that so much last year. Or the baby father is carrying a child. So these are different circumstances. So you want to make sure that you consider all these things tax credit early in monthly payments. Okay, just keep that in mind. Do I want the money now? Do I want it later? Am I planning to have a major income change? Then if that is your case, then guys, opt out. that the IRS may send you an overpayment based on an old tax information. So that's basically what I said earlier. So let's just say, I'm going to give you my example. My daughter is 17. Last year she was 16. And she was 17 last year, but I'm just giving this as an example. She was 17. So she would qualify for that $3,000 because she was 17 and under. So I had 2 children under the age of 17 that would qualify for my husband and myself to receive the child tax credit, right? So there's 2 dependents. But I know that they're going to do that based off my 2020 tax return. But my 2021 tax return, my daughter is in college. She's over the age of 17. They're going to say, well, you don't qualify for that credit. So now give me my $3,000 back. So that's going to come off the top of the tax return. So that's just an example. So if you know you have changes like that, guys, you want to make sure that you, again, opt out. And I hope this makes sense. Okay? So that could be the case if your household income ages goes up or if a different age out of age bracket before the end of 2021. So that's the example that I gave you with that. How and when to opt out. I said that a little bit earlier, but I'm just going to briefly jump into here now. At least the first week of every month, let me see, the date to opt out of receiving your July 15 payment is past. So you can't do that. Next shot to unenroll is by August the 2nd for the August the 13th payment. You can opt out anytime in 2021 to stop receiving your remaining monthly payments. To unenroll, the IRS said you must opt out 3 days before the first Thursday of the month. So basically, you got to the August the 1st, 2nd, the 3rd, depending on what the Thursday come on, okay? If you miss the deadline, the IRS said you will get the next scheduled advance payment until the agency can process your request. So if you opt in and it's too late, you miss the deadline date, then guys, you're going to receive your check. You have to opt out the next month, okay? So also, like I said earlier, I'm going to share the link with you all too. If you choose to opt out, it's not mandatory. I'm just only making suggestions to help you make a conscious decision. So also here, if you look at the website I shared with you earlier, it breaks down the dates of payment to expect payment. You can expect to receive a check July 15th, August 13th, September 15th, October 15th, November 15th, December 15th. Okay, so these are the dates. Now, this is very crucial. If you file married filing jointly, both you and your spouse must opt out. You can't just opt out and your spouse don't. Both people have to do the opt-out application on the IRS website. If you choose to opt out, that just means once you file your taxes, you'll receive your entire credits when you file your taxes in 2022. Now, I think I said this earlier, but I just want to kind of reiterate this. If you choose to receive monthly payments, you'll get 6 installments, July to December, of $300 payments each month this year, and the remaining $1,800 of your tax refund next year instead. So versus getting the entire $3,600, you'll only receive a portion now and receive the balance of it next year. On this website that I shared with you, it's an estimator of how much you should receive. So guys, check that out. It's very, very detailed. The payment schedule and how much you can expect to receive. And I'm not going to talk about that. They don't really relate to you guys. Okay, so the next thing here, like I said, what I'm planning to do is post a link for the IRS website. If you choose to opt out, it's your choice. It's not going if you choose to opt out, fine. If you don't, it's definitely fine. I just want you to be aware, okay? So I'm going to drop the link here. If you all have any additional questions, please, please, please let me know. Drop them in the comment section. I'm looking forward to our class, our training that's coming up in July. I'm sorry, I got my dates mixed up. In July, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what's about to happen and take place in this group. My team and I are working really, really hard, putting some things together to make sure that you guys are involved. I don't want you just being here. I don't want you just showing up. Sometime I want you to be involved because I'm so ready to see your testimony. I'm so ready to see your results. I'm so ready to see what I know God is about to do in this group. So I'm excited. I'm so super excited. If you need something, let us know.